decided that Toby is going to be a martyr in this case, or at least try to be a martyr, sacrifice himself for the greater good. We're going to see if it worked or not. I have a feeling not quite. What do you make of this?
We'll certainly see if my good boy Tobe went out with purpose, or if he just thought he went out with purpose. Honestly, I think production informed us this is probably the last time we'll be looking at this scene, and thank God, because it hurts every time, Noah.
It's painful, and you remember when we saw Joy dying, and it kind of, I'm triggered to the first time we lost somebody, and it stays in the family. Their deaths will haunt us forevermore. But hopefully, Toby didn't die in vain. And we all know also that he got his final wishes were quite sassy. And he had Eric carry them out for him. But we're going to talk more about the story, what happened this week in a little bit. Let's talk a bit more about this scene. So that's really, as you said, that's the last time we're gonna see it. Any parting words for your boy Toby?
Toby, as my parasocial paramour, I wish you well. Sorry that it had to end this way. Rip to a king. Truly, honestly, like without being a funny jokester about it, it's sad. He tried his best, and his best wasn't good enough. And isn't that mankind's biggest fear? That we try really, really hard, and then in the end, it doesn't even matter.
But I really did think that he could have tried a little bit harder. But you know me, I'm all judgy, I'm all snooty. I'm not the blue-collar man that Toby was. I will never be. I don't know. I never stepped a day in his shoes. So who am I to tell you?
Listen, if our wonderful teammates didn't want a slightly judgy pre-show, then they would not hire two aunties to do it.
Yeah, we're kind of like the old people in the balcony. I don't know how we achieved this both at 30, but here we are, way beyond our years. But let's throw to another scene that we saw. So we did see also Krista confront Eric at the laundromat after his toast at the bar. The very fun toast, with some fun words spiced into it. And they are both pulled into the other world. And I actually rewatched that scene today, and I got jump scared again. So if production, could you please pull up the scene where Krista and Eric are in the laundromat?
What the hell?
You missed a spot.
Thanks.
That was quite the show you put on back at the bar.
Is there something you want? Because I've got work to do.
Yeah, it's about Toby. I figured Rachel wouldn't tell you, but I thought you should know what happened to him.
Well, where is he? Shit! What the hell is this?
Watch out!
welcome back. We hope you enjoyed that. I love me some Krista. The tension is definitely building there. It actually got to such a bad point, that tension, that they are transcending into horrible monster worlds. But let's look at the story so far in Pennsylvania. Layla, would you do me the honor, please?
Every time you ask, Noah, it's a greater and greater pleasure. So let's talk about Pennsylvania. Rachel tells Xavier that Faith is missing and asks him for advice. Meanwhile, Eric, as Noah pointed out, quite sassily memorializes Toby at the bar. And then Krista confronts Eric in the laundromat after his toast at the bar before they're both pulled into the other world, which is what we just saw. Harrowing, Noah.
Yeah, that's like a next level. I think like Silent Hill is all about stuff we don't deal with and like trauma and things bottled up. And that tension has reached a critical point where it is actually dangerous now. And I feel they should relieve it in some way, but I don't know.
Oh goodness. The tension
I'm
is
kind of an
building.
extramarital girl. I don't know though. It's not for everyone.
Okay, great. Put that down in the list of Noah one-liners we keep in the background. But listen, the tension is definitely building. I was more thinking of the tension with the monsters. The tension with Krista and Eric. It's just budding. I think it has places to go. I don't think we're anywhere near critical yet. But Krista, I'm also a Krista fan, so I get where you're coming from. I want to see what shenanigans she's up to. She's shenaned before. I'm sure she'll shenan again. And so it's a lot. But I was thinking more of the tension of Eric getting assaulted by a mysterious hanging creature. That's a lot, I think.
No, actually, that's the fun thing about this show. One of the fun things is that I do actually get re-scared and re-jump scared every time. And I'm like, not this time. I know what's happening now. No, I still get scared. And those creatures, these grabby laundromat creatures, are quite horrible. But let's talk briefly again about that toast that we saw, in case somebody missed it, because we did get to see Eric tell on behalf of Toby to everyone to buzz off. And that was for me a very satisfying moment in the story. I don't know why. I felt but kind of the bar saw it coming. They weren't even shocked that was the final wishes of Toby. They were like, oh, that guy again.
I would say there's a pretty open antagonism between the patrons of the bar and my good boy Toby. It was pretty hostile the whole time. Now, Noah, I think the more important question for me is, if I were to tragically go out early, or as we like to say around the production, get transported to another world, would you do me? Thank you. Would you do me the honor of delivering a sassy toast at a happy hour?
Oh, hell yeah. I would be honored, Layla, to be your sass bearer. Should we have to be there? But you know what? I want you to do the same for me. And I'm actually, after tonight, I'm going to sit down on my post-mortem requests, and it's going to have quite a few swear words directed at quite a few people. So watch out. You don't want me dead, guys. I'm going to be worse. So anyway, that was a bit of a shocking moment. And we did have our beautiful cameo there, which we always love seeing in the scenes. So thank you to people that participate in the cameo contest. It really spices up the things we are seeing and kind of takes us a little bit, gives us some relief in this very dark world. So speaking of dark worlds, let's look back also at the story so far in Norway. Layla, could you please?
Oh yes, let's take a casual hop, skip, and a jump overseas to Norway, where Carl and Mette make out after Carl gives Mette Ingrid's ring. A lot. Carl and Astrid find a burned out clearing, but no other signs of Orson when he goes missing. So we go from escandalo to bad vibes. Thank you. And then Astrid continues the search for Orson until she's forced to stop. We got highs, we got lows, Noah. We went real high with our delighted fun at Carla Mette's expense, and now we're in the child missing lows.
Oh my God, I feel so bad. I'm like, I feel really bad for Carl, honestly, because at this point, you know, his wife got mysteriously killed. And then the grandson that he really loves Orson, I feel. It didn't mean, you know, his wife is getting buried and he loses. I feel so terrible for the people who are in charge when the kid gets lost, you know? Because, like, man, like, I don't think he meant for it. And this family is going through a lot constantly.
Yeah, I haven't seen, to my recollection, a chill episode about the Johansons.
No,
it's all no chill for them. Well, except for the winter outside, but like other than that, I don't got nothing for them. But yeah. Doesn't feel good. First of all, a funeral, right? That is not a place where you want to lose a child, because what my first thought, having been to funerals with children, is that, oh God, he fell in the grave. But no, barring that, getting lost in the woods by himself at his tender age of like approximately, you know, the 6-ish, not great. I don't know about you as a 6-year-old, but I was weak and flighty, and I don't think I would make it very far, Noah.
Well, the good thing is Orson does have the, like, Carl Hunter upbringing, so maybe he taught him some, like, tricks, survival tricks, hopefully.
Well,
you know?
More importantly, Noah, what you're forgetting is he's got his chompers.
He's got his chompers. What are chompers?
His teeth. The boy bites.
Right, the chompers. He sure does, and he will bite any monster that comes his way. And I remember also we had an audience member suggesting that Orson should bite people we don't like. Or characters we don't like, and you know, so you're right, he can bite away the monsters. I think he has some like sniffing capabilities, but you know, like Carl was like, Astrid, we gotta go back in because we're gonna freeze.
That's true. Yeah, and again, like,
he's gonna have to skin a bear probably.
I would pay to see a 6-year-old try to skin a bear. Maybe not a real one, maybe a stuffed one, but I think the attempt would be something. But, you know, it's interesting because, you know, Orson kind of just disappeared. He, you know, it felt like he ran off like kids sometimes do. And to me, the tension in the moment isn't even in the moment he ran off, but it's now in this, like, this moment of having to stop the search, right? Because when you're forced to stop, how do you go to sleep at night knowing that your kid is missing, right?
No, it's painful. I feel so bad for Astrid. It's the parents' worst nightmare, and she really is losing people left and right. And, you know, I want to know where this leads. I'm nervous. We have kids missing. We forgot to mention we also have Faith missing, but it's almost time for the show. So Layla, production, could you put up the endurance scene and Layla will walk us through it, please?
Absolutely. So if you haven't tuned in before, in the endurance scene, one of our main story characters will be in a very dark room with our good monster friend, the Bruiser. There's a very clear exit sign that our character wants to get to, but the Bruiser is smashing furniture in the way. The one chance is that the Bruiser is blind and has to listen to figure out where our character is. You, as the audience, can assist the characters to escape the room unscathed by timing your inputs to the commands that appear on screen. And Noah, I think you have some more details for us.
I sure do. So the endurance streams are one of the best ways to impact the story. And it is, if a character fails enough endurance streams, they may not survive future encounters. So that would lead to their permanent death in the story, as we saw with our boy Tobe, which we will kind of block out of our system soon and just forget about him, because we gotta move on, and we don't hold on to the past here. But these endurance scenes are one of the best places to earn large amounts of influence points. But remember, success or failure in the endurance streams, they're a part of a collective story, and they're not personal individual judgments. So even though Layla and I are judgy aunties, we judge with you, not at you. And we all, right?
Yeah, you're here to judge with us.
Yeah, exactly. We're all judging together. We're not judging at you. And it's a great way to get influence points. So make sure to do those in the endurance streams. But let me just recap in one sentence. We had children missing. We have Orson and Faith missing. Rachel is breaking down. She feels like she can't get anything right. Astrid can't find her son. Carl gives his dead wife's rings to her sister, makes out with her, loses a grandson. A lot of stuff is going on. So let's be back together after the show. We have 2 minutes before showtime. I'm really excited to see where this is going, because I want to know what's up with those missing children. Like, this is really stressful. I don't and Silent Hill missing children, something is brewing. So don't forget, after the show, we're both gonna be here. The wonderful Layla. Layla, you're the best. I love your lipstick. You look cool. And we will both be here after the show for the post show. So for now, please enjoy the show. We will see you later, and we will unpack our traumas together. So enjoy.
¿Qué tal, mi gente? Buenas noches, soy Penumbra. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo han estado? Ahora sí, tiene un buen de días que no nos hemos visto, pero miren, ya estamos aquí para continuar con la historia de nuestra serie interactiva favorita. Y bueno, ¿qué tal? ¿Han tratado de hacer los minijuegos? Ya no tarda en empezar el capítulo de hoy. En vivo, vamos a ver. Empieza en 12 segundos. Yo salgo por el momento, los dejo con la historia y regreso, ¿sale?
When you didn't come back from the search, Aunt Meta called me. She told me where they lost track of you 3 days ago.
What? We were only gone a few hours.
No, you weren't. I honestly thought you were dead.
We're lucky we came across you when we did. We were out there so long, our minds were playing tricks on us.
I know everything happened quickly, but why didn't you call me the moment Orson went missing? I know we haven't always been on the best terms, but Orson is my nephew. I would have dropped everything and come here right away. But I had to hear about it from Meta.
You haven't exactly been around much, Britt. I didn't think you'd come.
Because I'm in recovery. I'm doing better.
And that's great. You just haven't had the best track record in the past, okay?
I'm not the one who lost their son and has been missing for days.
Astrid, we need to talk.
We spent a lot of time looking for you. What were you doing out there for so long?
Looking for my son. What do you think?
For 3 days?
It didn't feel like that long. We just lost track of time. I don't know.
Lost track of time? You put a lot of officers and volunteers in danger.
We didn't mean... We must have gotten lost trying to get back.
While we were looking for you, we also found this.
Where? Where did you...
Near where Brit found the both of you. Astrid, do you know why it was out there?
Orson dropped it, obviously.
I'd like to have it back.
Can't do that. We're taking it into evidence.
Fine. I just want to find Orson.
I won't lie. It's not looking good.
Excuse me. I think I need some hair.
What do we do now? Orson's still out there.
I'd hoped to talk with Astrid about this, but I think it would be better coming from you.
Tell her what?
The search has been going on for more than 72 hours. I know this is difficult to hear, but I've made a decision to shift the case from rescue to recovery. I'm sorry.
You're okay. You can thank Toby. Xavier said I couldn't let anything happen to you.
What was that?
They said it was over. It was supposed to end when Toby...
When Toby did what, Krista? What happened to him?
Toby sacrificed himself. But it didn't stop the withering. I need to talk to Xavier. Warn him.
Wait! What the hell was that? Where did it come from?
Ask your wife.
Bueno, mi gente, ya terminó el capítulo del día. Vamos a pasar al gameplay. Nos toca jugar con Carl. Ya vimos, va a haber dos cameos. El día de hoy. Esperemos que tengamos nuevo gameplay. No ha vuelto a aparecer el lanzallamas. El gameplay de lanzallamas. Esperemos que nos presenten algo nuevo ya a la sexta semana, ¿no creen? Yo creo que ya es justo. Ahí está un Goliath. Y corre. Corre. Ok, ahí está otra vez el Goliath. Vamos a ver qué parte nos toca. El botecito, aquí. De acuerdo. Su madre, empezamos mal, mi gente. Empezamos jodidos. Genial. Y aquí, flechitas. Vamos, ya recuperamos bastante vida. Y más flechitas. Otro cuarto más de vida. Y ya la regué. ¡Ah, somar! Vean todo lo que me bajaron. No puede ser posible. Y solamente fue una. Recuerden que el Goliat es completamente ciego. Entonces no nos ve. Se basa únicamente por la audición. La forma de escapar de él es no haciendo ruido y creándole ruidos por otro lado para que caiga en desventaja. Oh, Dios bendito, soy yo o se ve muy oscuro en esta ocasión. 1, 2, 3, soltamos. Genial, bueno, vamos en 50 y 50. Comunidad, échenle ganas. Pulsación, pulsación. Ahí está. Comunidad, échenle ganas, por favor. Necesitamos aumentar la esperanza de vida. Nosotros ya vamos a un tercio de... Y encontramos arma. Encontramos arma. Ya no estamos indefensos. Siempre he querido ver qué es este personaje y por qué empieza a temblar así. Ok. Un nail finger. Bueno, varios nail finger. Estos personajes al parecer también son como que un poco ciegos. No, pues no le hagas ruido tú también. ¡Ah, su madre! Ya llevamos la barra llena y... se nos bajó de golpe. 1, 2, 3, soltamos, perfecto. Otro nail finger, 1, 2, soltamos. Y de acuerdo, bueno. Dispárale, dispárale. Y bueno. Muy bien, mi comunidad. Ahora sí ven, nada más. Llevamos por lo menos una cuarta parte de la esperanza de vida. Yo llevo casi un tercio de vida completa. Entonces, vamos bien. Vamos bien, muy bien, mi comunidad. Aquí se ven los resultados. Un errorcito, otro errorcito. Pero son más las buenas acciones que los errores. Ahí está el cameo. Chinga. Parece actor de película setentera de acción. Los bats definitivamente son bastante molestos. Los recuerdo en Silent Hill 1. Era un castre tenerles que poder atinar para pegarles o dispararles. Y aquí donde estamos, a ver, no recuerdo esta parte. ¡Oh! El otro cameo. ¡Uy! Ahí está el lanzallamas. Y me la tostaron. Corre. Corre. Ah, chingado. Listo. Ah, también pueden manejar al lanzallamas. Mira nada más. Esa no me la sabía. No. Nuestro personaje tiene que salir airoso de esta situación. Les digo que este lanzallamas me recuerda mucho al jefe de Evil Within, el que tiene una caja fuerte en la cabeza. Definitivamente son muy similares. Demasiado similares. Ya lo escucho. Pero no hay problema, escapamos por el elevador. Y listo. Carl resistió exitosamente, mi gente. Nos dieron 2.400 puntos. Los cameos fueron Young Fizz y Rainer Rodiel. Sale. Vamos de rápido, antes de que empiece el post-show, a reclamar aquí nuestras recompensas. Hay dos decisiones. La primera es: ¿qué le dirá Rachel a Eric sobre la desaparición de Faith? La fundación nos defraudó. Sí, definitivamente la fundación no tiene ni la menor idea de qué diablos está pasando. Y la otra: ¿cómo le dirá Carl a Astrid que van a parar la búsqueda? Con compasión. Sí, vámonos con compasión. Eso de no dejar que se entere está como que medio canijo, ¿no creen? O sea, yo creo que se lo merece. Merece saber qué es lo que está pasando con la búsqueda de su hijo. Curiosamente, los dos niños desaparecieron. Pero bueno, vamos nuevamente al post-show. Los dejo aquí para que chequen las novedades que están por aparecer. Y yo regreso en unos minutos.
Show. I'm Noah and this is Layla. We both stayed, Noah and Layla, even though a lot has transpired. So Layla, that was crazy. What did we just watch?
Well, Noah, I can tell you what we didn't watch. We did not see the return of Orson. That boy is still at large.
He's missing. I don't know where that boy is. And it also seems like they gave up the search and they're more getting into recovery now, which is sad and stressful.
Well, Again says she's getting into recovery. I don't think Astrid's anywhere close to giving up. And not only is Astrid not close to giving up, a new challenger has entered the fray. The mysterious Brit, the one from the telephone call. She's here now too.
And she's sober. So watch out, world. Watch out, world, because she can do anything she sets her mind to now with her newfound sobriety. Shout out to Brit. Good on you, sister. But yeah, she's finally there. Like, even though Astrid kind of like tried to have her there earlier, and now somehow Brit is kind of blaming her for like, why didn't you tell me to come early? Like, I did. But
sisters, Noah.
Sisters. Well, you know, graphics. Could you show us the cameo? Because that's a very important aspect of Silent Hill Ascension. We have our cameo system, and you, as the audience, can be a part of Silent Hill canon forever, as some of you have seen and done, and we are always grateful for what you've done there with your performances. Each day, you and other audience members can enter a cameo contest to have parts in the series, and you enter that contest with your influence points. So yeah, we just saw we had our endurance streams, and you know, this is a great way to get influence points. But yeah, we have a missing boy. We have two missing children. We didn't talk about Faith in the scenes we saw now, so I don't know what's going on there, but we do have Orson missing. Very stressful.
Very stressful. Faith also missing, also stressful. Listen, I would rather not be either parent right now. Both Astrid and Rachel are not taking this well, as they shouldn't be. You know, I would be worried if they were chill. But I think we're actually speaking, aside from Rachel, there's another parent we're not talking about. I think we got something for Eric today, Noah, if you would care to introduce the video.
I keep forgetting that he's a parent. Silly me. But we're seeing the video that premiered today where Eric frees himself from the other world, and Krista gets really pissed because the withering hasn't stopped. But she is helping Eric and beating the monster, which is helpful. But the withering hasn't stopped. So whoops, Toby died for nothing.
Beans. It's truly like, yeah, what more is it gonna take, Noah? 2 dead guys, you know, it's poor Toby.
Poor Toby, I feel so bad, but Toby did choose via our audience choice to sacrifice himself. He wasn't forced to do it, you know.
That's true.
Only emotionally very pressured and abused. But, you know, nobody put a gun to his head. Emotional abuse is abuse.
I was going to say they didn't put a gun to his head, but they did put the threat of monster to his head, which could be just as effective depending on who you are. But yeah, here we saw Eric and Krista. Krista came to do some more flirting, apparently, right? Though she did kind of, I don't know if you caught it, but she did drop that Xavier said we shouldn't let anything happen to Eric.
She did drop it. She did drop it.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? What do you mean? Why are we protecting Eric? All of a sudden, very curious. Can't wait to find out more. But she came. Eric wasn't really having any of it with her. And then I think maybe after she helped him untangle himself from the awful, wily limbs of that creature, perhaps, maybe there's a chance for some friendship or, hey, for some escándalo.
For some scandalo, we don't know. It could just be a wonderful, wonderful friendship. But I don't know. She does have dreamy eyes, and Eric is coming to his own. So TBD, we are going to see. But lucky that they got out of the other world, because I really Eric has a lot on his mind right now. He was just trying to do his laundry and get his mind off of his daughter being missing and his best friend dying. But then he gets all entangled with these monsters again, and I feel bad for him. But really, Astrid, I see her pain, you know? I really see her pain looking for her son.
Yeah, as we said, both parents around the globe looking for their kids. Not great. But we have speaking of which, we have a decision graphic to throw up, if production would indulge me, which is how will Carl tell Astrid they're giving up the search? With compassion, the redemption option, tough love, which is the suffering option, or keep her in the dark, the damnation option. Interesting here that being tough with Orson was the redemption option, but being compassionate towards Astrid is also the redemption option. Got a little contrast here.
Right. And there really is no easy way to say that they've given up on your child. So either of these options are not going to be comfortable for Carl, I'm sure. But, the tough love approach, I wonder what that entails. Like, how can you tough love somebody who lost maybe it's like, snap out of it. Like, how do you envision the suffering option here?
Listen, I don't know if I can envision the suffering option, because if you rephrase it, he's saying snap out of looking for my grandson. Like, all of these are so uncomfortable because he has a proverbial horse in this boy race, which is to say it's his grandkid.
Right. It is his grandkid. And also, Astrid was trying to get back the hunter doll that the audience chose that she would give Orson a couple weeks ago. And obviously Haugen did not let her because it's evidence. But, she's just trying to cling to whatever she has left. But speaking of Norway, let's talk about what we had so far in case y'all missed it. We had a lot going on. Layla, can you shine a light, please?
Yes. So if you missed the pre-show, let's go over Norway once more, which is to say Carl and Mette make out after Carl gives Mette Ingrid's ring. Carl and Astrid find a burned out clearing while searching for Orson, but no other signs of the boy. And then Astrid continues the search for Orson until she is forced to stop, which, as we found out, took 3 days, and the arrival of her sister.
Yeah, is 3 days a long time or a little time when it comes to searching for a little boy? I would say it's a little time.
But yeah, I think in the context of searching for a lost child, it's not enough time. But in the context of wandering in the woods when it's cold, that's a very long time.
Right. But you would think, having lived in Norway, that maybe they will get used to it. But no, alas.
No.
But as you know, sometimes the place we were born, we never get used to it, and we have to go here to America. But but anyway, we did have Brit coming into the story. We did hear her on the phone before. We heard her. She didn't want to come to her mother's funeral, but now she shows up because her nephew is missing, and she does care about his nephew. And I want to know about her salacious drinking history, because I picked up that she's sober, and I want to know what kind of rancid stuff she got into before then.
Yeah, so I mean, we know that we've referenced before that there's been some behavior from the Johansson family. So I wonder if Britt's behavior, right, it was the thing they were alluding to. But on the other hand, go girl. She went, she got sober, she's setting boundaries, and we love to see it. Like, earnestly, that takes a lot of willpower.
Dude, for real, it's a lot of work what she did there. Like, refusing to go to her mother's funeral, I'm sure it was tough on her too, but she knew she wouldn't last it sober. But now her sobriety is going to be put to the test because her nephew is missing, and she's right back at it's trauma place. So let's talk about Pennsylvania in case you weren't here with us at the pre-show. Layla, please walk us through it.
Over in Pennsylvania, where another child is missing, this time Faith, Rachel tells Xavier that Faith is missing and asks him for advice. Eric sassily memorializes Toby at the bar. And then Krista confronts Eric in the laundromat after his toast at the bar before they're pulled into a confrontation in the other world, which we just saw them very narrowly escape from. Okay, we've talked a lot about Orson. We talked a lot about Astrid. Hey, just listen. This is perhaps petty of me. I don't know if laundry is the chore I would go for if my kid was missing, because laundry is where I go to think. It's where I go to ruminate. Right. That's going to make it worse, Eric, my boy.
I know. Yeah, no, it's not a good place. You just watch it washing away your thoughts, like your circular thoughts are being reflected in the washing machine. I would honestly, I would go, what I would do, I would take a one. No, what can you do? Your child is missing.
You go look for the kid. No.
You go. I forgot that option. But maybe he's afraid, honestly, have you seen the police involved in Pennsylvania? No, you haven't. And I think it's because they are engaged in some weird foundation activities and might not want to rope in the police. This is complete fan fiction now. I do not know. I'm like completely just making this up. But I didn't see no police there.
Yeah, you go, everybody can go on your favorite fan fiction site of choice and find Noah's Sin City Hope Junction Nights fan fiction. It's a lot. Listen, at least Rachel's out there. She's pounding pavement. She's looking for that kid. Now, is she, if I were in her shoes, would I go to the, again, pyramid-shaped self-improvement scheme leader that I serve? Or would I maybe go to my husband for assistance? I think I'd go for the husband. I think I'd maybe go to the laundromat. But, what can I say? Rachel, she makes choices. And speaking of choices, so does the audience.
Let's talk about the decisions that the audience made so far. We had some very, very dramatic things happening.
Absolutely. And we got some graphics to emphasize the drama. So, at the bar, how will Eric memorialize Toby? He will deliver his spiteful send-off, which is the redemption choice. How will Carl keep Orson calm during the funeral? Be strict. Again, the redemption choice, to be strict to the kid. And then how will Astrid eulogize her mother? Say she was a monster. Once again, the redemption choice. A lot of redeeming in this graphic. Sometimes we get a little variety. Right now we got a straight roll to redemption.
Right, it's a goody two redemption shoes here, everybody. But the redemption options were really salacious. It was like calling your dead mother a monster. We had like people dying and being sassy about, like, we're being sassy about people's deaths. Yeah, a lot has gone on, and the audience decisions really drove this to where we are now. And maybe Carl shouldn't have been strict with the boy if we didn't want him to go missing, but I don't know. The thing is, it's so complex, everything we decide here. I have no idea, but I don't know, maybe Orson ran off because Carl was too strict. But I think kids are spoiled, and you should discipline them gently.
All right.
Gently.
Gently. Yeah. So who knows? Who's to say, right? Perhaps maybe he would have found a different way to run off. But I think the interesting thing we should also highlight is that the first choice we talked about, which is how will Eric memorialize Toby, was a choice for Eric, right? We haven't had a decision for Eric until recently, until Toby has vacated the slot, so to speak. And now Eric gets some time with the audience, time for the audience to kind of build an Eric, if you would. So I'm curious to see what his upcoming decisions will be.
And we will see. I was going to say he gets his time in the sun, but he really gets his time in the fog.
Yeah, not a lot of sun to be seen around these parts.
Not a lot of sun. And, yeah, we are seeing Eric become more and more prominent here in the story. And you did mention that maybe it would have made sense for him and his wife to kind of like talk.
Listen, maybe it's the judgmental auntie in me, but I'm just saying.
Just saying. You're right. How did I not even think about it? Because I already gave up. But then don't wonder when you leave your husband to do laundry, when you're she probably told him, don't join me, as I know, Rachel. But I don't know. I don't want to be blaming here. But I'm just saying that Krista is seeing an opportunity and Rachel is sleeping on watch. Can't blame anybody for what happens next. But also we do have a decision that is open today. Production, could you please pull up the graphic for today's decision? And Layla, could you please, you are doing such an amazing job reading things. Could you please do it again?
I'd love to, yeah. So we're going to revisit today's decision in case you missed it. How will Carl tell Astrid they're giving up the search? Once again, with compassion, redemption, tough love, suffering, or keep her in the dark, damnation. And honestly, the more I ruminate on it, the more I sit here and think about it, the more it makes sense that being tough with Orson, who's been a little bit wily, a little bit out of pocket for as long as we've known him, you'd want to be strict with him. But with Astrid, who maybe needs the gentleness after her life, you'd be a little gentle with her. But yeah, we also have, speaking of talking about missing children, right? We got a choice coming up tomorrow, which is what will Rachel tell Eric about Faith's disappearance, right along the same line. Foundation failed us. I lost her. Or have faith. That's redemption, suffering, damnation there. Man, not a single comfortable conversation to be conceived.
No, but at least we have the husband and wife communicating finally over the disappearance of their daughter. So at least we are going to see something happening there that's not a completely detached pair of people being hounded by the fear of their lost daughter. But yeah, we did, please tune in to that decision. We're not gonna have a pre-show and a post-show tomorrow, but make sure you keep an eye out on that because that one is a big one and it has our boy Eric, which as we mentioned is becoming more and more prominent here. So be sure to catch that. But yeah, we have the children missing. We have tough love everywhere. We have a lot of Astrid, you're right. She really can't catch a break. I'm still shocked that Brit kind of I feel like she was blaming. I don't know. I feel like Brit was blaming.
Younger siblings, man. It's them against the world. And I get it. Again, I'm Team Brit. I think she's tough as nails. She did what she had to do. And then she came back home when she heard her nephew was missing. And that's the important part. How she goes about that, well, we love a little bit of mess. So even if Astrid can't catch a break, and I do like Astrid, seeing some ribbing between siblings, sometimes that's necessary. That's growth.
It sure is. It sure is. And good thing that Orson and Faith are single children, because I don't know if any of these parents should have more. But yeah, we're coming up. We're closing to wrap. So let's talk about what happened here. We have the children missing. We will keep looking / sending a recovery mission for their body parts. We will see, but it doesn't look good right now. We don't know where they are. It's really, really cold. There's fogs. There's monsters. Please do though stick around in the app between the episodes. We have the wonderful puzzles you can play, and let's throw to the graphic of our schedule here. So we're gonna meet you again here on the pre-show on Wednesday. We are here at the pre-show at 5:40 Pacific time PM on Wednesdays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We have the show every weekday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we have the post shows right after that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I really, really do miss you in the in-betweenies. But for now, Leila and I must go tend to some international espionage business. We will miss you. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Until next time.
Y bueno, mi gente, regresamos. Ya como acabamos de ver, acaban de, o más bien se modificó lo que es el horario de transmisiones de los capítulos. Ya nada más van a ser de lunes a viernes. Ya no van a ser sábados y domingos incluidos. Por lo tanto, bueno, vamos a descansar esos días de transmisión. Esperemos que los hagan tal vez un poquito más largos, porque sí están muy muy lentos los capítulos, la verdad. Honestamente deberían de tener un poquito más de duración. Recuerdo los primeros, pero bueno, eran los primeros capítulos. A la semana duraban 45 minutos, el primero duró 1 hora casi en total. Entonces, bueno, pues ojalá puedan meter más contenido y hacerlos tal vez un poco más largos lo que son los capítulos diarios, ¿no? Bueno, esa es mi opinión. Personalmente igual me gustaría que metieran tal vez un poquito más de gameplay, variarlo un poco. Por lo menos hoy sacaron lo que fue lanzallamas. Ese tenía rato que no había aparecido realmente, pero sí le hace falta modificarle tal vez ahí un poquito más de gameplay. Antes también tenía un poco más de duración. Había más interacción con lo que es el juego. Ahorita lo han reducido demasiado. Antes aparecían hasta 3 o 4 cameos y ahorita nada más 1 o 2. Deben de aumentar eso para que la gente siga interesándose definitivamente. Por mi parte, bueno, aquí seguiremos con las transmisiones diarias. Recuerden, lo estábamos haciendo por Twitch. Sin embargo, decidí, vamos a probar con YouTube, por el hecho de que la grabación se queda aquí mismo. Ya no tengo que estar haciendo doble trabajo de descargarlo, después editarlo y de ahí recortarlo y subirlo nuevamente para acá. No, ya aquí de una sola vez, en un solo jalón. Y bueno, pues ya aquí está lo que es el capítulo 1 de la semana 6. Mañana, si se dan cuenta, aquí dice en vivo en 23 horas. Mañana tenemos capítulo, así que por lo tanto aquí estaremos esperándolos. Recuerden, empezamos como al 10 para las 8 para hacer una pequeña recapitulación y la visualización del capítulo de hoy en caso de que se hayan perdido alguna información importante, ¿sale? Perdonen, ando un poco mal de la garganta. Pero bueno, mi gente, hasta aquí llegamos el día de hoy. Los esperamos mañana, recuerden, al 4:10 para las 8 para que podamos ver el capítulo del día. Recuerden darse un vistazo por los demás videos porque sabemos que les van a encantar. Tenemos material muy bueno que les puede llamar la atención o ser muy divertido para ustedes. Ahorita estamos subiendo lo que son peleas de Faikade para que puedan disfrutarlas, puedan ver las retas y muchas de ellas son de alto nivel, la verdad. son muy muy interesantes. Le estamos dando principalmente al juego de Art of Fighting 2. Estamos practicando lo que es el combo infinito de, se me fue el nombre de Robert, por si no lo conocen. Espero el día de mañana poder subir el video para que la puedan checar la pelea y vean cómo al principio en la primer pelea le metemos el infinito a Jack y se muere en cuestión de 2 segundos, literalmente. Así es el daño masivo que hace. En 2-3 segundos, yo creo máximo, aguantó de pie y cayó completamente perfecterizado. Pero bueno, mi gente, hasta aquí llegamos el día de hoy. Recuerden darle like, recuerden compartir, recuerden suscribirse y denle una vista al material que tenemos también para usted. ¿Sale? Todos los días tenemos transmisión les vuelvo a repetir, horario de 7:50 hora de México. Y el día de mañana va a salir lo que es la película completa de la semana 5. Así que no se lo pierdan. Mañana va a estar cargado de mucho material si Dios nos da vida. ¿Sale? Así que mi gente, gracias por acompañarnos, gracias por estar aquí y nos vemos el día de mañana. ¡Hasta luego!